Hi, my name is Lee Rosenberg, and this is my personal self-leadership action plan. First, we'll take a look at why I took this course. I am set to graduate at the end of this semester, so it was pretty easy for me to decide by taking a look at what classes I had to take. I requested online courses with my advisor to work around my busy schedule. Management Leadership 4461 is one of the required classes I have to take for Bachelor's in Business Administration. What I hoped to learn this semester was not much, because I figured it was just like every other course I've taken dealing with management. So I came into this semester with a closed mind. After reading the syllabus, I read one quote, which was the course description, that changed my mind about going into this semester with a closed mind. An examination of leadership from the perspective of the individual and the concept of self-leadership, featuring topics that emphasize a variety of self-assessments, personal reflection, and a commitment to demonstrate leadership in a variety of venues. This quote opened my mind up to what was to come this semester. The evolution of my personal leadership model has grown over the course of this semester. The concept of leadership has changed from what I was used to. I only knew the kind of leadership that was around me when I was younger. When I had my first job, my managers and leaders were not very good, so that is who I learned from, and that made me an ineffective leader. Characteristic of leadership that was most meaningful to me was self-leadership, which is the process of influencing oneself. The fact that the entire semester was around the idea of self-leadership really helped enlighten me about every aspect of it. Reading about self-leadership has changed my life professionally and personally. My model of leadership has changed a lot after realizing what leadership really is and the impact of self-leadership on my ability to be successful. I reevaluated my approach to how I manage and lead the people around me by changing the way I communicate, by thinking to myself, what am I saying to these people? From now on, I am not going to be giving forceful commands, but instead give instructions that are informative and influential. My perception of myself has changed drastically. I never really liked external leadership and preferred participative leadership. Self-leadership was it to me if I could convince myself enough that a task was important enough to complete. That has now changed. I now consider myself a more effective leader. I've grown mentally away from the way I used to be, which was argumentative and closed off to those around me. My personal vision and goals. I've always been a person with a vision. Most of my visions were unattainable to myself because I make them unattainable. One thing I've always wanted to do is become a pilot. I talked myself out of it because of not only the cost, but just because I would still be going to school. I don't really want to do that, so I talked myself out of it. But when it comes to my goals, I'm very realistic. I don't set goals that are too difficult for me to obtain. I avoid those difficult ones and go for the easier goals. But I now need to start challenging myself by going for the harder goals. My professional goals and how self-leadership fits. I'm currently a bank teller at the entry level. I want to get out of the retail side of business and into an office setting. Most jobs I look for right now require a bachelor's degree, which I'm very close to obtaining. I normally would avoid applying for those positions, but then I realized what's the worst they can do other than tell me no. But I will not know until I've tried applying. I used to be a sapper when it comes to this, which prevents me from achieving my goals and feeling good about myself. My professional goals and how leadership fits continued. I need to change my negative look by incorporating positive self-talk to my daily life. I have improved this drastically lately. Self-talk is the endless stream of unspoken thoughts that run through your head every day. Lately, I have begun to apply for the positions that require a bachelor's degree because I will be getting it very shortly. I have faith in my ability and skills, and I tell myself that the companies will continue to look over my application. Now for how self-leadership fits into my relationship goals. Currently, I am in a long-distance relationship, which is very stressful. Self-talk plays a large role in the success or demise of these types of relationships. Negative causes doubt and stress. Positive keeps everyone happy and trusting. William Glasser's choice theory is all we do is behave, almost all behavior is chosen, and that we are driven by our genes to satisfy 5 basic needs: survival, love and belonging, power, freedom, and fun. He states that love and belonging are the most powerful. Now my self-leadership action plan. When it comes to self-leadership, there's only one person responsible: myself. I must take it upon myself to improve my self-leadership. This will help influence myself and those around me to become more successful. The first step in my eyes is to no longer make excuses or shut out those around me. 3 leadership characteristics I will use. The first, of course, is self-talk, which is the most important topic I have learned this semester. It can make or break a person's ability to lead effectively. By using self-talk positively, it improves my confidence, my output, and ability to influence. The second characteristic I will use is natural rewards. I focus too much on the external rewards that may come with completing my job. When I do not receive those rewards, it makes me lose confidence in myself. Natural rewards may be something as simple as having time to do work that is personally rewarding, learning new skills, or taking on new and interesting assignments. It leads me to be more satisfied with my work and self instead of waiting on the approval of others. Now the third characteristic I will use is removing negative and increasing positive cues and clues. Negative cues and clues make an appearance wherever I go. There are objects out there that distract me from my objective. Televisions in every room keep me distracted from my homework. Increasing positive cues and clues can greatly decrease the distractions. By putting my computer in a room without a television, I'm more likely to focus on my tasks, like I am right now. Putting certain objects around my house can help me remind me of the tasks I must complete as well, such as post-it notes that have notes on them, or my textbook around, so it reminds me that I have things to do. In conclusion, during the semester I have learned a lot. Management and leadership are 2 ideas and positions with different responsibilities. The person with the largest impact on leadership abilities is myself. Through good self-leadership skills, a person can effectively influence themselves to complete tasks in front of them. I am now more confident in my abilities in self-leadership. I can now effectively apply what I have learned in my everyday relationships, personal and professional. To be able to remain an effective leader, I must use the 3 leadership characteristics I found most useful during the semester. I must take out negative cues and clues, use positive self-talk, enjoy my natural rewards, and become more influential instead of cut and dry when it comes to communicating. Through my hard work, these people will notice the difference: family, coworkers, girlfriend, and anyone else I encounter throughout the day. Thank you for listening to my presentation.